Do you want to get better at sales? Well, it doesn't just happen overnight. It starts by building a process for your sales. And one of those parts of those processes is a pipeline. Building a pipeline and sticking to the system that is your pipeline. Now, I, of course, have got a worksheet for you, which you can download below. It's a Google Doc, which you can print and write all over. So please stop the video and go and do that. Now, this is my pipeline blueprint for builders. So basically, it's going to outline the different stages of a sale for you so that you can follow a process and you can get so processed that you can then hire a team member to take on your spot, basically, replace yourself. That's what we're talking about. Okay, so stages of a sale. The first thing I want you to do, I'm just going to make myself, put myself over here. There you go. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to map out all these stages of a sale. Now, for argument's sake, what I have put in place here is enquiry, triage, a project visit, an offer, and a follow-up. It's a 5-step sales process. Of course, step one, they do themselves. They come in and inquire from you. So they might come in via a web form on your website. They might just call you. They might be a referral. There could be an email that comes through, etc., etc. What I want you to do is, firstly, I want you to consider what is your stages of your sale. Do you do a triage? Is that actually a no? You don't do that. And so you've got a 4-step process. Or do you not do any follow-up, for gosh sakes? I don't know. Anyway, this is what I'm suggesting for you to do. And so if you haven't got a pipeline or a process of sales, then my advice is just use this. So again, an inquiry comes in. What I want you to do is consider the things that you would love to happen in your business when an inquiry comes in, okay? So consider if when someone does fill in a web form, do they get an automatic email to say, hey, thanks so much. Here's my company profile. I want you to take a deeper look at us. Do you send out a welcome pack at that point? Or do you send the welcome pack out at this stage when you've triaged them and you can see they're actually a good customer? I don't know. It's your pipeline. These are my suggestions. Do you send out an SMS to say, thanks so much, we just got your inquiry, we'd love to have a chat with you, can you book a time here? Like, do you have a booking system in place? This is all the things that happen in the inquiry mode. Then, if you're like me, you might then triage that customer. That could be over phone or video, and you should ideally be following a script, because if you're following a script, you're following a process. If you're following a process, it becomes an SOP, a system. And that is, of course, transferable to another individual in your company. That's what you want. You want to build a hierarchy with people, not underneath you, I would say. But you obviously don't want to be doing all these. You can't be wearing all the hats forever. So the more that you can act like there's going to be someone else in play here, the faster you build processes, the faster you stick to your processes, and the faster the easier it is to bring someone on, because the role is already being developed. You don't just hire them and then they come in and then you've got to build the role as you go. Let's not do that. Let's not waste any time. Okay, also, I've got some notes down here. What would you be doing via that triage? Would you be sending a welcome, like, hey, our phone call is in an hour, and it's an SMS? Would there be an email with some videos there? Maybe that's a great idea to help soften the customer and warm them up so they know that you are the best and you're the best builder for their $1 million renovation. Then do you do a site visit or a project visit? Or is it still on only Zoom? Or are they coming to you because you've got a showroom? I don't know. Again, this is my suggestion. I want you to think about how you dress, because, again, if someone is going to take on this role, they need to be told that they should be wearing a collared shirt. Put on the shirt, stephaniesbuildingcompany.com. They need to have nice pants. Are they wearing closed shoes? Are they wearing runners? Like, these are all the little incremental things that you need to consider that you would just do. But you just thinking about it is not scalable. So you need to have a process. Again, do you build a welcome pack so that this meeting, when you see them and you shake their hand, you're actually giving them something of value that's going to heighten your expertise, and you're going to be more of a specialist if you're giving them all this stuff, something tangible, which they can touch. And then when they've spoken with 3 builders and they go, wow, well, Stephanie and her team actually gave me a welcome pack and there's all these samples and she just seems to know what she's doing. and then they go with you and they pay whatever price you tell them to. That's what we want to achieve. Okay, then there's your offer. Biggest mistake I see is that people literally send the offer through via email and then call and go, hey, did you get that? A document is never going to make a sale for you. You have to sit them down and make the offer. Sit down, show them, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Here's where the payment processes happen. You drive the conversation. Don't let them just do all the talking. You are driving the conversation. You are showing them how great you are. Now, yes, you should be asking them lots of questions, because the more questions that you ask them that really help them deep dive and understand, what they want, and the more they can tell you what they want, the more you can repeat it back to them. Also, did you want a Scandi home? Yeah, totally. Well, then that shows that you're listening. And if a man is listening, that's like next level. Anyway, and then follow up. So the last step, are we following up? This needs to be scheduled in. We can't just be like, I'll follow you up next week. No, I will follow you up at the same time on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Does that work? Let's put it in your diary. Like, these are the sorts of scripts you should be building. Do you follow up with a video? Hey, look, I was just thinking about your project and I'm so pumped for it. Really looking forward to getting started. When can we get started? What's stopping us? Great video. And then also you might want to send an SMS with the offer. Now, here's the exciting part. When you build out a pipeline, and I'm going to copy all that, copy, and I'm going to put it here, boom, boom, boom. Okay, when you have your pipeline and you come into work on Monday and you go, right, what are we doing today? You know that you've got a brand new inquiry here, and her name's Shelley, and she's in Lane Cove, and we're estimating 1.5 mil. And then you've got Donna, and you've got Jesse, and they're in, Chatswood. Sorry, I'm writing very fast here just to save you from watching this. Anyway, you get the picture. Every single project that you have on your board right now, in your brain, needs to be down in your pipeline. I actually use ActiveCampaign, which is a $100 a month piece of software that allows me to have my pipeline, and I can literally pick up an item and move it to its sales process, so that when I come into my office, I can go, right, where am I at? Where are my triages at? Where are my project? Now, these are all the sales I spoke about last week. What are they doing with the offer? Are they sitting on it? Oh, I've got these follow-ups to do right now. So really important that you build a pipeline for yourself. And in fact, I've done all the hard work for you. You can grab my little freebie that I've got here, my workbook, and you can download it and you can write on it. You can put it up on the wall and start to actually follow a process. Because when you follow a process in sales, sales gets less ick and more stick. Those customers stick to you and they buy from you. And that's what we want, right? All right. Well, look, if you're actually still watching this, hello. Now, you might be having some quiet weeks, chasing quotes, and your paperwork is everywhere. It might be a good chance for us to have a conversation so that we can turn this around and actually generate you some work by getting you organized and in control, getting you to make some nice smooth sales with techniques like this, but also get those scheduled projects in your pipeline so that you are organized. Because if you're organized, if you're feeling smooth, and if you're all scheduled in, then you have got nothing to lose and you're totally going to win. DM me on Instagram if you want to have a chat. Okay, bye.